The things that walk the ridges. I'm not telling you this to be believed. I'm telling you because if I don't say it out loud, then it feels like it's still happening, like the woods are just waiting for me to stop remembering so they can finish the job. I'm a normal guy, mid-20s. Job, bills, bad knees I didn't earn. I don't drink much, don't do drugs, don't believe in most of the crap people talk about online. But West Virginia is different. Anyone who's been there long enough knows that. The mountains don't feel empty, they feel occupied. It started as a weekend trip. That's always how these things start, right? My buddy Eric had access to his uncle's cabin, real middle-of-nowhere stuff. No neighbors, no cell service. Just trees stacked on trees, ridges folding into each other like the earth forgot how to lie flat. We drove down from Ohio late Friday afternoon. The deeper we got into West Virginia, the more the roads narrowed. Pavement turned to gravel, gravel turned to dirt. The woods leaned closer to the truck like they were listening. Eric joked about Bigfoot. I laughed. I shouldn't have. The cabin was old but solid. One room, a loft, a wood stove, and a porch that looked straight out into the trees. No fence, no trail, just forest. That first night was quiet in a way that didn't feel natural. No insects, no owls, no wind. The woods were holding their breath. At around midnight, I realized something was wrong, because the silence wasn't empty, it was focused. Like when you're in a room and you can feel someone staring at the back of your head. I stepped onto the porch to smoke. That's when I heard the footsteps. Not random, not animal, bipedal, slow, heavy, crunch, pause, crunch. Each step placed carefully, deliberately. I whispered Eric's name. Nothing answered, but something stopped walking. Before I ever saw it, I smelled it. Wet fur, rotting leaves, old blood. It drifted in waves, thick enough to taste. My eyes burned, my stomach twisted. I remember thinking bear. Then I remembered bears don't smell like something that's been killing for a long time. From the tree line, something exhaled. Low, deep. Not a growl, a breath, like lungs the size of trash bags emptying slowly. I backed toward the cabin, heart hammering so hard it hurt. The porch boards creaked, and from the woods, something mirrored the sound. The moon was bright enough to show outlines, and what stepped forward wasn't a bear. It stood upright, too upright, at least 8 feet tall, shoulders hunched like it didn't quite fit its own skeleton. Its arms hung long, too long, ending in hands that flexed slowly, fingers curling and uncurling like it was remembering how they worked. Its body was covered in dark, matted hair, but patchy, torn out in places, stuck together with dried gore. Its head was wrong. Not fully human, not fully animal. The face was flat, nose crushed in, eyes set too deep. When it opened its mouth, I saw teeth that weren't uniform, some blunt, some sharp, some broken. And it smiled. I know how crazy that sounds, but it smiled. Eric came onto the porch behind me. He froze. The thing tilted its head. Then it made a sound that dropped my blood temperature. It tried to talk. Not words, not yet. It pushed air through its throat in broken shapes, like it was imitating speech without understanding it. Then it pointed at us and said, slowly, wetly, "Huh, man." Eric screamed. That was a mistake. We started making our way to the car, but the thing moved faster than something that size should be able to. It didn't charge, it paced us. Every time we ran, it ran just close enough to remind us it could end it whenever it wanted. Branches snapped, trees shook, the ground thudded under its weight. We bolted into the woods, flashlight beams bouncing wildly. Behind us, Crunch, crunch, crunch. Sometimes it would stop, let us think we'd lost it. Then, wham! Something massive would slam into a tree beside us, shaking leaves loose like rain. It was playing. We tripped. Eric fell first. I heard bone crack. I turned just in time to see the thing grab him by the leg and lift him upside down like he weighed nothing. Eric screamed my name. The creature leaned close to his face, sniffed, then bit into his stomach. Not a killing bite, a testing bite. Eric's scream turned into a sound I will hear for the rest of my life. Wet, gurgling. The thing tore, chewed, swallowed. Then it looked at me and did something worse. It dropped Eric, still alive. I ran because I'm a coward. I ran because something deep in my brain knew this thing wasn't done with Eric. It wanted me to leave, to remember. I don't know how long I ran. My lungs burned. My legs went numb. I collapsed into a ravine and stayed there, shaking, choking on my own breath. From somewhere far behind me, I heard bones breaking and slow chewing. The next morning, I was found wandering near the road. No Eric, no sign of him. Search teams blamed animals, but they didn't explain why the trees near the cabin were marked, scratched 8 feet up, or why something had carved circles into the dirt around the cabin like it had paced there all night, waiting. Why I'm telling you this? Because sometimes, late at night, I smell it again. Wet fur, rot. And when I close my eyes, I hear breathing that doesn't match mine. The Appalachians stretch a long way. Those ridges don't end, they just keep folding. And things like that, they don't stay in one place. If you live near the woods, if you hike alone, if you hear footsteps matching yours, don't scream, don't run, because it already knows you're there, and it's deciding whether it's worth remembering.